I want to talk about, this video is going to be about the Elisa Lam mystery, and let me rotate it around here real quick. So this lady that you're seeing in this elevator right here was being chased by somebody. Now this happened several years ago, but I've shown this video to several cops. You can find it all over the internet. She's being chased in this hotel. Now this hotel is infamous. Aleister Crowley visited here in the 20s, and Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, also stayed in this place. So about every 10 years somebody goes missing mysteriously and they never find them. Now she thought that she was being chased by Raytheon. She had a blog where she was was basically knocking Raytheon, and Raytheon had just come out with a invisibility cloak. You can look that up, and you'll see her at one point come back into the elevator and start waving her hands in front of her because she thinks that it's Raytheon after her. Well, she kind of wishes it was Raytheon. So they found her dead body in the water tower of this hotel, and it was a real small opening, and you'll see her here, and she hits all the buttons, and she's trying to leave. She can't get the doors to close, so she leaves and comes back, and she knows there's probably several people chasing her, so she's trying to get away. And you see her there, she's waving her hands around. She thinks that there's somebody with an invisibility cloak after her. Like I said, Raytheon developed one. And here you can see her, she's actually signing, using sign language, saying "help me" to a security camera that's over towards the in front of where she's looking at. There's a camera there. So she hit all the buttons on this elevator, and then she took off after she couldn't get it to work. Well, as soon as she leaves, the elevator doors open and close just like normal. Well, like I said, they found her naked body in the water tower of this hotel, and the reason they found it is everybody was complaining about the taste of the water. So she was picked up, and you'll see this door open and close on every floor that she hit the buttons with, but that was after she left. She made a dash for the stairwell and obviously didn't make it. So anyway, she was picked up by what I believe is a devil worshipping cult called the Ordo Temple Orientalis. You see him mentioned in the Stanley Kubrick film Eyes Wide Shut. Who was involved in the cover-up of this? Well, the medical examiner had to be, because he said that she drowned in the water tower, yet there was no water in her lungs. The district attorney had to be involved. She wasn't even from California. She was from out of state, so there was some FBI people involved in it. So the local police, the FBI, the district attorney, judges, medical examiners, and obviously a lot of people in this hotel. Now, let me go over here. So she was picked up at the end of January. So this is what's known as the Satanic Wheel of the Year. And the devil worshippers, pretty much this is their holiday map, I guess you want to say, if you wanted to say. Here's a more stylized version of it. So we're looking at a Imbolic, which is February 2nd. So she was picked up in late January, I believe, as a party favor after the fact. And she was abused sexually. I don't think she was the sacrifice during the festival, simply because they get that way ahead of time. But I think she was used as a party favor and then killed afterwards. So you throw the body in the water, and after a few days of in the water, all the DNA that could possibly incriminate somebody is gone. Now remember, she was in there so long that she was rotting and her flesh was going into the water system, so there was no DNA to be found. Now, so let's cover who was involved. So the hotel staff was the district attorney's office, the judges, the police, local, and the FBI. There's a book I'd like you to check out by David Pilates. It's called Missing 411. It's about all the people that go missing in national parks. And check out the stats of missing people. These are the big satanic holidays, and they correspond to holidays that normal people actually use. So Yule would be where Christmas is, and Midsummer or Litha. So this is the shortest day of the year, the longest day of the year, the two equidistant days of the year. One of them is a star, where we get the word Easter, which is only mentioned in the Bible once, and that was by a pagan in the Bible. It's Passover, not Easter, but somehow that just gets corrupted. Mabon, this is Samhain, which is actually Halloween. It's actually a 3-day festival. It's both beginning and the end of the year. Beltane, May 1st, which is the big day for communists. Lunasog, and the day that this specific video is about is Imbolic. Now, when you see the day after this, you're going to see it'll be Groundhog Day. So you'll see on CNN the guys, and they grab Poxahani Phil and they pull him out of his little thing, and they see if he can see his shadow. There's going to be 6 more weeks of winter. Well, I want you to count the people in black suits around him. There's going to be 13 of them. 13, the number of the coven. So it's a pagan ritual. So let's talk about some of the people that sacrifice in these rituals that are the devil worshippers. This is the one that's involved in this group. It's the Odo Temple Orientalis. There are also independent lone practitioners that kill and sacrifice people, non-affiliated covens, a lot of the harder Wiccans, I would guess, not the normal Wiccans. Most of them are just lonely bored housewives. There's a pedophile ring called the Ninth Circle, the Cathedral of the Werewolves. There are generational Luciferians, which have the most power of any group, and they actually they're behind most of them. There was a thing that started as a joke called the Temple of the Vampire, but people start taking it seriously. The Bohemian Club and Skull and Bones. Now, who are these people that run the world? Well, they call themselves the Order of the Olympians. A lot of people call them the Illuminati. That's what I refer to them at. Well, and they control from the top, yet they're supported from the bottom. So who controls them at the top? The international bankers, the monarchies of the world, the Committee of 300, the New World Order, and the bloodline families, which are also the generational Satanists. And you recognize the name, just look them up. Now, the support for them comes from the bottom. The Deep State, the Council of Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Club of Rome, the European Union, the International Monetary Fund, the United Nations, NASA, Masonry, the Bilderberger Group, the Royal Institute for International Affairs. And they also get support, and people belong to all these and support all these. And not all police are dirty, obviously, but they Masons are always trying to recruit police and military, people in the intelligence community, politicians, district attorneys, medical examiners, judges, career bureaucrats, press, and Hollywood's basically just controlled by them. So, like I said, Imbolec's coming up. It's one of the major satanic holidays. Anyway, check out the Elisa Lam death. I don't just make this stuff up. I got it covered on timbosplace.com. I have several YouTube channels if you want to check out more of it. And I'd like you to do 2 things: like, share, and subscribe. But like I said, there'll probably be, I'm going to guess a couple of thousand people will be sacrificed February 2nd. And that happens every single one of these holidays, the Satanic Wheel of the Year. You also see the Satanic Wheel of the Year. It's on the UN flag. So you'll see the equidistant map of the world with a circle over it with lines through it, and that's the satanic wheel over the whole of the earth. And around the UN flag, they say it's olive branches, but it's actually laurel leaves. So if you wanted to look at the UN, it would be the laurel leaves denote victory out of the Olympics, so it'd be the victory of Satan over the whole of the earth, if you want to look at it that way. And they like to go to war zones. That's why the UN's been involved, and that's where they get a lot of their little pedophilia things. You know, child trafficking. Haiti just got destroyed by the Clinton-Bush pedophile cartel. And Pizzagate's going to be coming out. Check that out, Pizzagate. And anyway, that's it. I'm out.